From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
There you go. Like your recipes in the box.
Recipes, yeah.
That's right. All your recipes go in there. There you go. Perfect.
And then I lose the keys.
Wow.
All right.
Rolling.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, time once again for The Horse's Mouth, brought to you by our good friends at Branded Brewski, of course, at Tommy Max, at my bar, where everybody's welcome to have a seat, whether you've been here before or not, and get a chance to tell your story. Always great to meet new people. We're going to meet a couple new ones and a returning guest as well. Let's talk a little pizza. Let's talk some lock boxes. Let's talk some Branded Brewski. We'll get into it right now here on The Horse's Mouth. Karin Munnell is here from
Yes.
Pizza Bella.
That's right.
Karin, how are you?
I'm doing
Welcome
great.
to the show. A private chef with their own pizzeria. Tell us
right.
all about it, please.
All right, so I bought this little pizzeria like almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
And just a little corner place.
Yep.
And it's been there for like 20 years. But I think we brought it back to like, I don't know, I guess it's original glory.
Okay.
We've added a lot of cool stuff like
Cool.
Homemade meatballs, homemade cheesecake, lasagna, like this thick. Just doing everything I can from scratch because,
Okay.
I love to cook. And I grew up, with my mom. She was my inspiration.
Okay.
She just kind of taught me everyththing she knew.
Okay. Family recipes, your own recipes? Or what are we talking?
Yeah, a little of both.
A little bit of
yeah.
both. When you bought the pizzeria, do you bring in all your own recipes? Do you try to
Well, they
find a little
have
medium?
their
or what?
own, but
Yeah.
we switched up some things
Okay.
for the better.
Okay,
We
great.
make our own dough, a little
Yeah.
real New York style slice.
Yeah.
So.
Anything to do with what kind of water you use with pizza? You
I
always
don't
hear
know.
this.
People tell me
water
that all the
stuff,
time,
you
but
know, like- That's
I'm
why
not
New York
shipping it in
pizza's
from
better.
New
The
York.
water's different or something. Is that a
Yeah.
myth? Is that urban legend, or is there some truth
It's
to that?
to be determined, I think.
Okay. Now, how about as far as being a private chef? What's your favorite kind of meal to make? What do you like making?
I like getting into people's houses and know, getting to know them while I'm, standing across from them, chopping, cutting, stirring, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just kind of got into that. I was working full time in like corporate food services, Mayo Clinic,
Yeah.
Florida Blue, Black Knight.
Yeah.
I just did that for so long, and then I was like, hey, I can do so much better.
Yeah.
So I started putting myself out there and, do like date nights and even surprise parties,
Cool.
I just knock on the door and somebody's
Yeah.
like, oh, what's going on? We're like, oh, honey, it's your birthday. I booked
Yeah.
a private chef.
Very cool.
It's really awesome.
I tell you, making dinner and just the connections and the family hanging around, it's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
And
Great time. Kitchen. Most people spend their time in the kitchen, don't they? When they're in your own home.
Yeah, people call
It's
me
true.
up and we plan like a dinner.
Yeah.
I'll just throw out some ideas and then they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do.
Yeah.
They pick it all out. I give them a price. They're like, let's do it. And
Yeah.
I just show up.
That's cool.
And it's not, just pizza or Italian.
Yeah.
It's any
Whatever.
cuisine,
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, great to have you on. That's awesome
thank
stuff.
you.
All right,
Glad to
Mathew
be here.
Snyder's back from Remedy Guard. How are you, pal?
Hey, Tom.
Good
Doing
to see
great.
you, man. Life
It's great
treating
to
you
see
well?
Absolutely.
What's the latest with our lock boxes, man? I love it.
Well, I got a couple new contracts. One with the state of Idaho, one with the state of Indiana. Getting more of those
Okay.
out there. Working
Yep.
with the University of Rochester on their suicide prevention program. Getting those to them in that
Good.
area. They're
Right.
doing a new program and they're scaling it to a point that they haven't done
A
before.
lot of this is for safety. We can make
It
all
is.
the jokes we want, what you can put in it, but it's really about safety and keeping especially people that aren't supposed to be taking these drugs out of those
Exactly.
drugs, right?
From the hands of the curious, for
Yep.
the most part,
Yep. Yep.
And as a kid who went through some dark times, and I
Yep.
tried to take my life
You
when
did.
in high school, and
Okay.
that was a few years after my dad's first attempt and stuff, and so I
Okay.
know exactly what's going through these kids' heads.
Wow.
I've been there.
Was it pills, if I may ask?
So
for you?
I got into my dad's Prozac because I wanted to be happy.
Okay.
They didn't make me happy. That made me more depressed because I'm like, well, they make him happy enough,
Right,
but
right.
they're not working for me, and so there's nothing for me. I got
Yep.
so hopeless.
Wow. How'd you break the chain? How'd you break it?
Anger. Really, I was so angry at where I was, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let them break me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna rise up. I'm gonna overcome this, and I'm gonna be better.
Give me some, man. That's a powerful
Like-
story. Good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. And then is this your baby? This or you're a salesperson for him, or is this your company?
It's all me.
Good for
It
you.
It is all me,
Yeah.
and I'm working with a buddy. He's a former Navy guy. He has his own lived experiences. He addresses military sexual trauma, works with DOD, all that kind of stuff. And we're coming together because of where we're at in the world.
Yeah,
All the things that are
absolutely.
going on, we need to address, like the generational trauma that exists and what we can do to break it.
Absolutely. Keep the youngins safe, man. Keep everybody safe.
Let them see that what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not being idle.
Yeah, right.
We hear them, and
Good.
we want to protect them.
That's great, man. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Scott Mills is back. Brandon Brewski, how are you, my man?
I'm good, Tommy.
What
How
a
about
powerful
yourself?
story, huh?
Yes,
That's great. You know what, though? Everybody has a why as to why you start what you're doing. You know, some are like, really traumatic and tragic and that type of thing. And I'm so glad you're doing better. You look great, man.
Thank
You look
you.
happy. You really do. You look happy. You got a smile on your face.
Every time I come to the show,
You never know.
there's another story
Yeah.
that is really heartening.
It touches you, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your why, if I may ask, and how you got in? I know your family business and all that up in Buffalo, but you had to also have a, hey man, this is what I want to do in my life. You ever have a point?
Well, it's kind of following my father's footsteps and my parents' footsteps. It's a legacy thing for me.
Yeah.
My
Carrying
parents.
that name.
My parents worked 5 jobs between the two of them when I was a kid.
Yep.
I guess some of my employees look at me like, why does this guy, and I'll tell them right out, nobody here will outwork me,
It's in your DNA.
And it's in
gotta
my
be.
DNA.
It's
I was
gotta
brought
be.
up that way.
Yep.
So
Yep.
after my parents, struggled through waiter and waitress and raising 4 boys and started this small business in the garage
Yep.
and grew it to what it is today,
Yeah.
I feel a responsibility
Yep.
as a family member that carried a legacy on.
Yeah. It's funny, totally different, but even with my girls, I'm like, look, you represent that McManus name. And not just me, like your grandfather, his father, like that's very important. That's good that you do that, because it's important, I think.
Yes.
Because it's your family name. You want to in a good light.
And it's
Who
not
doesn't?
only for my parents, but
Yeah.
our entire 40-some
Absolutely.
relatives,
Yeah.
to see that
Yeah.
my parents' effort in their younger years
Yep.
will not go to waste.
All right, real quick for the panel, I'm going to ask you each the same question. How do you define success? You go first.
Success is, to me, would be success of the business that the people who have worked for me and help build what it is comes away in a better place, a better person.
Yeah, good.
And an ability to, help them to get to a place where they could retire.
There you go. That's great. How about you, Matthew? What would you say?
I would say that when a customer follows up after one of their big events and they're like, yeah, we had hundreds of parents come in and we gave out hundreds of these boxes, that's a success story for me. Because I know that it's going to be implemented and it's going to make an impact in that community.
Good. Keep up the great work, my friend. Karen, last word. How do you define success? Other than making a great meal.
Yes, you know it. Really, I love hearing people come back and say, man, that was great. Made me really feel like home, like New Jersey, New York, whatever. But the one thing for me is like when people come in, you know their name. It's like, hey, Tom, hey, shoot.
Scott.
But, I have, John over here is talking to, whoever, but this, everybody knows you, and they like
Connecting.
when you know their name.
Yep.
And then also with my, employees, mostly teenagers or whatever, but we're teaching them and showing them, how to, because they're not probably going to make pizza their whole lives.
No,
So,
right.
we tell them,
Yeah.
hey, work hard. This is something you need to do for your future, But
It's funny you say that about
It's
the
all
name, because
relationships.
at Publix, I try to look at the name tag and then say thank you so and so, and every time you say their name, they're like,
it's like,
How'd you
"You know
know
my
my
name?" I'm like, "It's on your tag, but it's a nice little personal thing. Like thanks, hey,
Absolutely.
thanks so and so." So great. Keep up the great work, guys. Really appreciate you being here, and it's awesome. And you never know who's going to show up on this show. And guess what? Everybody's welcome, man, because everybody's got a story to tell, and they're all important stories. So you're always welcome to have a seat right here at my bar. Make sure you check out the dailynewsnetwork.com website. You'll see these profiles of these fine people right here at the bar. You'll see this conversation and so many others. So until next time, stay safe out there. Take care of one another and be cool. And we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers.
Darrell Hogan Law is a collection of lawyers that help people solve problems in areas of their life they're not able to solve them themselves.
We are not individuals. We are purely a team. We work together for all of our clients.
We have the resources to win your case and win it to such a degree that you're going to be very happy with the results.